Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today I am super excited to be filming this video. I am actually going to be taking you through all of my festival essentials. So this is all the stuff that I really recommend that you consider bringing when you go to a music festival. I absolutely love music festivals, and I have been going for years, so I definitely kind of have learned what I wish I had and what I wish I didn't bring over the years of me going. So if you want to know what my festival essentials are, then just keep watching. So the first thing that I'm definitely going to recommend is that you either bring like a mini backpack or a fanny pack or some kind of bag of some sort. I know it can get really annoying to be carrying around, especially when you're like jumping to the music and dancing. But honestly, I went to a festival one time where I only brought like my card holder and my phone, and I do wish I would have had some of the things that I'm going to mention today. So I definitely recommend you bring the bag. Now they do have lockers at pretty much every single festival, at least all the ones I've been to. And only one time did me and my friends get a locker, and it was just kind of annoying to constantly have to be going back to the locker to grab stuff, and it's always like a madhouse, so it's really hard to like get into your stuff, and you're just wasting a lot of valuable festival time. So honestly, I really just, once I put the bag on my back, I don't even really think about it that much. I do always keep my phone in my hand or in my pocket just because I don't trust putting it behind me, and I like to take pictures and film. You know, I take video with my phone and all that. So anyway, this backpack is from Hollister. I actually was using like a mini Jansport backpack for many years, but then I recently picked this one up because I thought it was pretty fun looking, and my other one was getting pretty grungy. So I'm just gonna show you, you know, kind of about how big it is, just so you get an idea. If it's still available, I will link it down below, but you know, you can get mini backpacks anywhere. Forever 21 has a bunch of cute ones right now too. So that is about the size of it. It is not too big at all, and it doesn't really get uncomfortable. Now, I would say that if you can get a camelback that can fit these things in it, that would probably be even better. I ended up getting like a cheap knockoff camelback, and I hated it. I didn't use it. I just ended up bringing my phone and my card holder, you know, on its own, as I mentioned. My boyfriend does have like an actual camelback brand, and let me tell you, having the water with you all the time is amazing, and you don't have to hold on to a water bottle or pay those outrageous fees for water bottles. So I do recommend that at least someone in your group have a camelback, or even yourself. They do make them where they have compartments for other stuff, so you could totally do that. And pretty much every festival I've been to has free water fill-up stations, and it is a lifesaver, especially when you've been there for hours. I mean, anytime we've had the camelback, we did not regret it. So anyway, now I'm going to move into some other items that I think are important. Now, keep in mind, you don't need to bring every single one of these things. It just kind of depends on you and what you think, but for me, most of these things are pretty much stuff I like to bring every single time because I do find myself wishing that I had them. I will say that the number one thing I recommend you bring is either some kind of like toiletry wipes, or you just roll up some toilet paper and put it in like a Ziploc bag and bring it, because if you go to like a several day long music festival, by like the second day, even maybe by the end of the first day, the porta potties are disgusting, and there's a lot of times just no toilet paper left, and it is really annoying when you don't have any toilet paper as a woman. So I either bring like these are like wet wipe cleansing cloths that are for, you know, females or whatever, or I end up just taking some toilet paper from like the hotel, put it in a Ziploc, and just stick it in my bag. And every time I've done that, I have not regretted it. I think it is one of the most important things that you should think about bringing with you. Next, I will definitely recommend a pair of sunglasses. I usually go back and forth between, you know, different pairs of sunglasses that I have, but these are one of my newer pairs. These are the I think it's Quay and Jaclyn Hill sunglasses. I forget what name these are. Oh, Upgrade. So I always recommend you bring sunglasses, especially if you're going to be there during the day, because you want to protect your eyes, and it does get super bright, you know, with the sun beating in your face. So I recommend that you bring a pair of sunglasses. Now, another thing I would mention, depending, you know, if you want to or not, I usually don't, but I would say that a hat would probably be something that would also be very protective for like your scalp and for, you know, keeping the sun out of your face, but I don't ever wear a hat. I'm just recommending maybe if you guys do like wearing hats, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to wear one to the festival. Next, I will recommend that you bring like a mini brush. This is a mini wet brush because with the wind and the dancing, I mean your hair and the sweating, your hair just gets really ratty throughout the course of the festival if you don't have it up. And a lot of times I do not wear my hair up to a festival, but later on in the festival I will put it up. So I do recommend you bring a brush just to kind of brush your hair periodically throughout the day, because I have gotten some really bad knots before and like it's been super hard to brush out once I get to the hotel at night. So I think a brush is definitely a must. The next thing that I personally think is like a non-negotiable is hand sanitizer. Now I am kind of like very paranoid about germs. I mean, not to like the extreme to where I won't do certain things, but I definitely like to have hand sanitizer to sanitize my hands after I go to the bathroom, or if we've just been, you know, around touching things a lot. I just will sanitize once in a while, especially if I'm gonna eat anything. I don't usually eat a ton at festivals. It's only been a handful of times that I've actually gotten meals there. I usually will have like a meal before, and then I'll have like a granola bar or some kind of bar right before we go in, and I can usually make it through the end of the night and we get food after. But anyway, I think hand sanitizer is super important to try and fight germs, because I have definitely gotten sick many times after festivals because, you know, you're just out and you're around germs and you're not really thinking about washing your hands too much. So I definitely think hand sanitizer is a must. Next, I would recommend that you bring just some kind of chapstick, just because, again, if you're in the sun all day, you know, a lot of times I don't go right when the festival's open. I kind of wait until like 3 or 4 o'clock, so there is still sun, but it's not like if you were to go all day. So I still think having the chapstick is nice, that way your lips don't get super dry, and it probably, I think, yeah, and this has SPF in it, so it does protect against the sun, so I think that is nice to have. Now I know for those of us that wear like lipsticks to the festivals, it might be hard to apply a chapstick, but a lot of times my lipstick ends up kind of rubbing off from drinking water, from just drinking drinks in general, so I will want to put some chapstick on, and I usually do put chapstick on beforehand. Next, now this one might not be applicable to everyone, but I do wear contacts. I very rarely wear my glasses to a festival, even though I wear my glasses pretty much 24/7. I do wear my contacts, and my eyes can get irritated, especially with any dust that might be flying around from people walking and dancing. And just from like having the contacts in for so many hours, I like to bring Visine Eyedrops. Now this one is actually designed for contacts, but they make kind that is just, you know, regular. That probably would be good if you do, you know, if your eyes do get kind of like dry and tired throughout the day. So I do like to have this on hand for when my contacts start to irritate me. Next is a biggie, at least here in Florida where I live and where I've been to most of the festivals. I have been to one that's been out of state, and I'm going to Coachella as well, and I will definitely be bringing this, is a poncho. I always bring a poncho for me and my boyfriend. I bring 2 because you never know how the weather is gonna be. One year, the first year I went to Ultra in Miami, it did end up raining, and I was happy to have the poncho, and these are like, I think I ended up getting these like 2 for $5, so if it rains, you just toss it. You can always get another one at Walgreens or CVS or some kind of pharmacy nearby. So I always like to have these with me just in case it does start to pour. Now, if it's just like a light sprinkle, I won't bother bringing out the poncho, but there's nothing worse than being at a festival when it's like pouring down rain and having no poncho. Next, my recommendation is sunscreen. Now again, this is if you're going to be out there, if you're going to be at the festival from like when it opens till it closes, you're going to be in the sun for a decent amount of time. You should definitely be wearing some sunscreen. I ended up picking this one up, I think, funny enough, right before, I actually got this in Vegas because we were walking. This was actually not related to the festival, but I went to EDC Las Vegas 2 years ago in 2017. And it's so hot and sunny in Las Vegas in the summertime, so I ended up picking this up so that we'd have sunscreen for when we walk around. EDC Las Vegas does take place at night. I know they have changed it a little bit since I've been, but it does take place at night, so for that one you don't really have to worry about it as much, but most festivals do take place during the day, so it is pretty important to be protected from the sun. Next, I recommend you bring a hair tie, because after you're sweating and you've been dancing, a lot of times your hair does not look as cute as it did when you first got there, and it gets kind of annoying having it be in your face, or if it's kind of windy, it just gets kind of annoying to be dealing with. So I always like to bring a hair tie. That way by the end I can just pull my hair up and I can keep it out of the way and try to keep it from getting knotty or, you know, in my face. So it is nice to just have a hair tie. I use scrunchies because my hairdresser told me that these are better for your hair than like regular hair ties, so I switched to these. I picked these up at Ulta, I think. Next, I recommend that you bring a battery backup and your charger, obviously. I do recommend that you get one of these. Now, mine is kind of bulky. I kind of want to get like a smaller one that will be easier to carry around, but this one has 2 USB ports, so if like my boyfriend and I both bring a charger, we can both charge up. I do notice that my phone does get the battery drained pretty quickly at festivals, whether it be from trying to send text messages because sometimes the service is not good, so obviously your phone is struggling and fighting to send the message, and also just from taking a bunch of videos and pictures. And I have been caught where sometimes I don't have a full charge before I go. I always try to have my phone fully charged before I leave, but there have been instances where I didn't, so it is nice to have the battery back up with me. I do think that, like I said, I kind of want to get a smaller one. This one is kind of bulky, especially because when you're charging your phone, either you have to just leave your phone in your bag or you have to like hold on to both things. So like I said, I probably will get a smaller one, but this one has done the job for me and it's fine. You know, it fits in the bag, no problem. Next, I recommend that you bring gum. Mine only has 1 stick left, but I thought I would show it anyway just for the visual. Gum is nice to have so that, you know, you can just chew on something and it's just something flavorful. Like I said, I don't really eat a lot at festivals, so sometimes the gum will help with the appetite, and it's just nice to have something to chew. I love gum, so I recommend that you bring gum. Obviously, if you don't chew gum, then you don't need to worry about that. Next, I would also recommend that you maybe bring a mirror. This one is from Sephora. It just has like the 2 mirrors right there. There's really no mirrors at music festivals because there's no like actual bathrooms. So it is nice if you want to like check your makeup or touch up your liner or something to have a mirror. And I will also maybe recommend these oil absorbing sheets. I use the Walgreens brand. There's tons of them out there. This is nice for just after you've been out all day and you're getting kind of oily. At least I am oily. I know those of you that are dry probably wouldn't need to worry about this, but I do like to have these on hand so I can just blot during the day. You know, it's very nice to just be able to get the oils off and you kind of feel refreshed. Now, I don't have it in front of me, but now this is optional. It depends on you. I usually will only just bring with me like my eyeliner and a lip gloss, but I'm gonna be honest, most of the time I don't even have time to really touch anything up because I'm just so busy trying to enjoy the music and go from stage to stage to see the artists I want to see. So you can bring it if you want, you know, bring eyeliner, bring your lipstick so you can touch up throughout the day. That's also where the mirror comes into play. I have touched up my eyeliner before because I do still like to kind of look put together for pictures when I'm there, but a lot of times, like I said, I'm just too busy focusing on the music and the fun that I'm not really thinking about touching up my makeup. So totally up to you if you want to bring that stuff, but everything I mentioned here is pretty much stuff I always like to have with me just because, you know, when you're there, there's things you want and need, and a lot of times they do have like little, like not like kind of like emergency shops where they have like some sunscreen and gum and stuff like that, but let me tell you, the prices are usually not very consumer friendly at the festival, so I like to just bring this stuff with me. Now I will say, keep in mind of the rules of the festival you're going to, because some of them require that like your gum packet's not opened, or they only let you bring in liquid sunscreen versus like an aerosol can. So just make sure you are checking what you are allowed to bring and what you are not allowed to bring for the specific festival that you're going to. So yeah guys, that is it for my festival essentials. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful for you. I absolutely love music festivals, and these are the things that I find help me the most to get the most enjoyment out of my day. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if you have any festival essentials that I missed, because I'm always looking for new things that I might not think about, you know, when I'm there, and other people have good recommendations too. And also don't forget to subscribe before you go so you don't miss any future videos. And I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.